Governor Muthomi Njuki will spend another night in custody. The court is set to rule on his bail application tomorrow at 10 a.m. Njuki was along as 16 others arraigned in court this morning to face charges of embezzlement of public funds. 15 accused denied all the charges against them, save for one who is said to be hospitalized. Our very own David Muthoka has been following up on the court proceedings and now joins us live from Milimani Law Court. Muthoka, if we can hear me or you can hear me, wherever it is that you are, let's get to hear what, of course, the process was all about, and importantly, whether we have any updates in regards to the same. Remember, the governor faced the EACC yesterday, and we had proceedings of the same. And following up was Nanok Lauren, who was on ground yesterday up until night upon that grilling presented to court early this morning. That is Milimani Law Courts. And from the details that are coming on ground is that this proceedings will be there tomorrow. So I have Muthoka on standby already. And Muthoka, what more do we know?
Yes. Well, Linda, I am coming to you live from the Milimani Law Courts. It's a chilly Tuesday afternoon here, and perhaps the unfriendly weather a reflection of the situation Tharaka Nithi Governor Muthomi Njuki and 16 co-accused are in right now. Just a few moments ago, a preliminary hearing that Muthomi Njuki and 16 co-accused appeared before Chief Magistrate Douglas Ogoti concluded, and we understand that Tharaka Nithi Governor Muthomi Njuki and 16 co-accused are yet to spend yet another night at EACC custody. Other police stations where they are expected to spend their nights include the Kileleshwa and Parklands Police of fraudulently
plan. Watu wako na allotment letters to the same effect. Haiwezi kuwa ya kwamba sasa waleto wa introduce another plan today, alafu wanatuambia ya kwamba ati sasa kuna gazettement. Kwanza kitu ya gazettement na publication ya advertisement kwa gazeti are two different things.
Tom Wekesa, Kapkoi Market chairperson, holds a different opinion, arguing they followed due process and asked those dissatisfied to seek legal redress.
Kuna sehemu ambayo ilipatikana kuwa kuna sehemu ambayo iko barabarani na kuna sehemu ambayo iko post imepita nini, post ya stima imepita juu ya plot. Pia wengine barabara hazikuwa zimefunguliwa vizuri, so ikaonekana kuwa haingewezekana kwa hao kuweza kujenga.
KO Ward MC Emmanuel Waswa, through his spokesperson Augustine Nalianya, wants the exercise carried out properly to avert future conflicts.
Hii soko ikijengwa saa hii, corridor ndio barabara, and you can imagine the size of a corridor to become a street. Moto ikiwaka, it's just terrible. Soko iwezi jengwa wakati haina waste management plan. No, we want legit things.
Over 100 households generate their daily bread from this unexploited market. Boniface Barasa, TV47, Kapkoi Market, Trans Nzoia County, and West Pokot.
All right, it's now time that I take you to the seaside or the ocean side of Mombasa. And with some bit of good news, Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani today was at the Kenya Ports Authority in Mombasa this morning to oversee the signing of the framework for operations under the Transport and Logistics Network. Our very own reporter Miriam Mwacharo has been following on this and joins us live from Mombasa. Miriam, hi.
Yes, we're just outside the Kenya Ports Authority, where the Cabinet Secretary for Treasury was here earlier this morning, who signed the framework of operations between the Kenya Ports Authority, the Kenya Pipeline Company, as well as the Kenya Railways under one umbrella under the Kenya Transport and Logistics Network that's overseen by himself. Now remember, this was after the executive order given by the President Uhuru Kenyatta earlier, August 7th, to have these bodies under one umbrella body so that it can increase efficiency as well as reduce the costs of operations. Of course, you remember with the pandemic coronavirus, many people lost their jobs, and already last year, 2019, the Kenya Ports Authority as well as the Kenya Railways Corporation was in heavy debt that was guaranteed by the government. So the agreement today was signed and chaired by the ICDC John Ngumi himself, and was signed between KPA Chairperson General Joseph Kibwana as well as the KPC Rita Okuda herself, Kenya Railways Major General retired Pastor Awita, and was overseen by Ukur Yatani, who is the Cabinet Secretary for Treasury here in Kenya. So back to you in studio.
Right, and maybe one question for you, if you can hear me still. And what does the CS or the leadership say in terms of this agenda and the likelihoods of it transforming the government-owned companies, if you can hear me? All right, Mwacharo, thank you so much for the update. But one question coming your way, and what does the authority or the leadership or the people at large also say in regards to this agenda coming in to transform the government-owned companies or entities?
Well, some of the officials are in agreement and actually support this particular framework of action, and others are actually saying that it may not work, and they seek clarity. Since after the direct order by the President of the establishment of the KTLD, it has brought a lot of issues around the KPA that has actually sought the managing director to be suspended, his appointment rather, to be suspended in seeking clarity. So the agreement is actually being supported by some of the officials because it has worked in some countries, for example in South Africa, but here in Kenya this is the first such agreement, and we're yet to see the results.
Well, thank you so much, Mocharo, for the update. And away from that, we cross over to the Senate. And indeed, the Senate is meeting this afternoon for the 10th time to unlock the revenue sharing standoff. The House is expected to look into the report by the 12-member committee that was formed to mediate the standoff. Elizabeth Mutuku now joins us from Parliament for an update on the same. Elizabeth, what are the expectations?
Well, good afternoon, Linda Leila. And just as you said, the Senate is expected to resume today after a month recess and to go back to the revenue sharing stalemate, which they are expected to resolve. But today, the House leadership saw as the House Business Committee, they had a meeting towards the same issue. Remember, the 12-member committee, which was appointed before recess, did not come up with a formula or with a solution due to the hardliners in the committee, and that is where they were today on the same matter. But there were key issues which they were discussing today, and I'm informed by my sources that they were trying to see whether they can go back to Kangata's resolution, which is to have the formula which we have, the current second generation formula, being applied for the next 2 financial years before we go to the third basis of sharing revenue, which also they haven't resolved in. But also, according to my sources, they will be deliberating a way forward to have counties get at least 50% of their finances in order to be able to cushion the devolved units. Remember, governors had also threatened to close down counties following lack of finances due to this stalemate. But not only that, Linda Lela, I'm told in this evening, the order paper, they might not discuss the revenue thing since there is no a concrete solution or a way forward. But it's a matter which I'll be following closely to see what we get before the closure of the business today.
All right, thank you so much, Elizabeth, for that. And we know that you'll ably give us the updates of the same later on. And nurses in Embu County have vowed to down their tools starting tomorrow over several grievances they have not been addressed, or they say have not been addressed. They include non-remittance of statutory deduction amounting to 400 million shillings, as Moige William now reports from Embu.
Led by Joseph Ngwasi, the secretary to Kenya National Union of Nurses KNUN Embu branch, the nurses say they have been taken for a ride for a long time, and it is now time to take an action for redress of their plight.
Hospitali, zahanati, health centers, level 5, level 4 zitakuwa zimefungwa na hakuna mhudumu wa afya ambaye atakuwa katika zile hospitali.
The nurses who were addressing the media in Runyenjes lamented that even after having several meetings with the county health officials, nothing has been done to their grievances. They warned that nurses will have no further negotiations with the county government until their grievances are addressed.
Hatuchukuliwi na ule umuhimu ambao unafaa. Hatuwezi kuwaamini tena, kwa sababu kama wanaweza kusema wamefanya na tunaenda kudhibitisha ya kwamba hakuna kitu kimefanyika, ni kumaanisha ni mchezo wa paka na panya.
Tujaona kama wakubwa wa hii kaunti wako na hawajaonyesha kwa umakini na hawajaonyesha nia ya kutatua mashida ambazo tumekuwa nazo. Kwa hiyo muda wote tumekuwa.
Embu residents have been urged to seek treatment from private health facilities.
Kuanzia department ya OPD, laboratory, hizo zote zenye zinafanyiwa kazi watakuwa wamefunga, na itabidi watafute huduma kwa hospitali za kibinafsi.
The over 2,400 health workers from over 100 health facilities in Embu will be joining doctors from Embu in the strike who last week issued a 7-day strike notice that is ending today. Moige William, TV 47.